Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I am your host, Auntie Derek, and I have my lovely co-host with me, I Chill. Hey, boo.
Hey, hey.
And we're actually doing this surprise Sunday show as promised. So today is Sunday, May 18th, and we're doing this show because I unfortunately will not be able to have a live show tomorrow, Monday on May 19th, but we will be back live on Tuesday, the 20th. So, yep. So I just wanted to give y'all some updates, especially with the latest Diddy trial news going on. I want to make sure that we all stay updated, especially with us missing a day tomorrow. But Chili, how are you, honey?
I'm doing so wonderful on this beautiful Sunday.
It is a beautiful Sunday, honey. And matter of fact, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I am actually out of town and currently doing the show from my phone, so I don't want to have any interruptions. So, hello from Charlotte, North Carolina. I won't be here long, just temporary, rarely. But yeah. So
I'm
let's
so
go ahead and.
grateful
Oh, sorry.
to bring us this show since you won't
Oh,
be here Monday. I love a good surprise show.
oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, and I enjoy doing it. Oh, and shout out to my cousin Anaya Rosalie. So a cousin of mine from New York, who she actually reached out to me on Thursday, and she said, "Hey, cuz I have a project that's due on Tuesday, because she's currently taking a course on Black Queer. I forgot the name of the course, but it has something to do with Black Queer lives or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So she wanted to interview a Black Queer. That was her assignment. So
Okay.
we were on a Zoom call last night, and uh she recorded the interview from the Zoom, and I think the interview went really well. She had some amazing questions, and it's just kind of like because she's cis hetero and she's straight, so it's just kind of nice to see that her doing the work to become a good ally and stuff, and just asking the important questions like um, how do you feel about being Black queer in white spaces, and especially with white queer people and stuff. Like, it was like some really good questions.
Mm-hmm.
So again, shout out to Anaya, boo, and thank you for reaching out to me for
And
that.
thank you for letting her interview you. I know as I've gotten to know you, I've had lots of questions, and you answer them without hesitation. You never view it as weird because there's just some things us cis hetero people don't know. And rather
Yep.
than assume, I love that you're so open to answering the questions and not, maybe getting offended or, you know, being very
Uh,
open about it.
yeah, absolutely. Because I think the best way to know something is to ask questions, and I feel like this is almost becoming a lost art. People aren't really curious anymore. They just kind of, a lot of people assume they know everything, and they don't. So yeah, I was happy to do it, and I just felt flattered that she even thought that I was worthy of a- ask, answering those questions that she had. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, that bird back there is giving you your applause, honey. Okay.
yes,
That's
I
a
wonder if that's
beautiful bird sound.
and I wonder if the same bluebird that I saw earlier. You need to shut the hell up. I'm doing the show, girl.
You're like, okay, I'm gonna be on your show today.
Okay. Happy says she may go back to sleep because it's currently early in the West Coast.
It's
And yes,
not that early.
yeah, yeah. I did it I needed to do it earlier than normal. So again, so I can go ahead because my aunt's catering is still not finished. So we just have some. I'm being a good nephew and helping out any way I can. So, but no, happy, you will not be able to fall asleep, honey. Not with this tea that we have today. You're
All
gonna want to stay
right.
awake to hear this. But before we start with the tea, let's go ahead and get started with the May Mayhem, where we honor people who cause good trouble in society. And I'm going to talk about a Durham icon, a Durham, North Carolina legend, honey, by the name of Ann Atwater. And I just shared this link from ncpedia.org that gives this really nice bio about her. So it looks as she was born on July 1st of 1935, and unfortunately she passed away on June 20th of 2016. So Anne George Atwater was a lifelong grassroots civil rights activist in Durham, North Carolina. She was born in Hallsborough, Columbus County on July 1st of 1935. As a child, she attended the Farmers Union School in nearby Whitesville. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. William Randolph George, both died by the time she was 19. At the age of 14, she married French Wilson and soon moved with him and their growing family to Durham, North Carolina in 1953. Her then husband worked for a Venable Tobacco Company and Atwater as a domestic worker. One person for whom she worked was politician and lawyer Henry McKinley, Mickey Macho Jr. I'm sure I said his name wrong, but it says the first African American representative from Durham County, and they became lifelong associates. Not long after arriving in Durham, her husband moved to Richmond, leaving Atwater to raise their children alone. In the mid 1960s, Atwater began her involvement with Operation Breakthrough, the Durham based organization founded in 1964 to address poverty and inequality. Operation Breakthrough was supported by the North Carolina Fund. Program director Howard Fuller, later head of Malcolm X Liberation University, specifically asked for Atwater to join. Her involvement grew as social worker associate and as a member of their board of directors. She took a hands on community organizing class in 1967, preparing her for the role of community action technician. The activities she led and organized included sit ins, pickets, and boycotts. Friends and colleagues from the time recall Atwater as a natural born leader and very wise. By 1967, Atwater was also employed by the United Organization for Community Improvement as a supervisor of its Committee of Neighborhood Workers, plus served as chairman of its Housing Committee. The organization, supported by North Carolina Fund, helped communities in Durham address issues of food scarcity, voting rights, education, and housing. Her other associations included Head Start, the Low Income Housing Development Corporation, and the Housing Committee of the Durham Committee of Negro Affairs. She was elected as local Democratic Party vice president in 1968 and later served with the Durham Committee on the Affairs of Black People. In addition to being active in the civil rights movement through the decades, Atwater was a lifelong member of the Mount Calvary United Church of Christ, becoming the first female deacon, and served as member of Church Women United and the National Council of Negro Women. In 1971, Ann Atwater was invited by Durham City Councilman Bill Riddick to co-chair a 10-day charrette to save our schools, SOS, federally funded and sponsored by the state AFL-CIO. The charrette's mission was to address problems integrating Durham schools. It was at the meeting that Atwater met Ku Klux Klan leader Claiborne P. Ellis, known as CP Ellis, assigned as the other chair. What was at first a contentious and combative relationship transformed over the years into a deep supportive friendship, resulting in Ellis repudiating both the Klan and racism. Their relationship was documented in numerous projects. For example, and we that Osha Gray Davison wrote the book The Best of Enemies, and they actually made that into a film where Taraji P. Henson played her, and Sam Rockwell played C.P. Ellis. So anyway, Atwater started working for the Durham Housing Authority in 1981. Due to an injury on the job, she was forced to retire, receiving medical disability from the Housing Authority, in 1991. Over the years, Atwater received hundreds of awards and official accolades. The Carolina Times newspaper of Durham named her Woman of the Year in 1967. In July of 1968, McCall published the Ann Atwater story. In 1982, Rosa Parks herself bestowed Atwater the National Women in Community Service, or WICS, Rosa Parks Award. Martha Villalobos, WIC's national president, said of her nomination, Ann Atwater was selected from many nominations submitted across the country, because of her extensive voluntary contributions to the poor and disadvantaged, which resulted in a positive influence on lives of so many people. In 1997, at the 67th anniversary of the Durham Committee on the Affairs of Black People, of which Atwater was a member, she was recognized for being a lifelong peacemaker in the Durham community. In 2004, the Durham NAACP awarded her for years of work. Anne Atwater died June 20th of 2016 at age 80. After spending her life fighting for equal housing and anti-poverty initiatives, news stories about her towards the end of her life showed that she was still struggling to pay her bills and relied on donations for some of her own food. When asked by Chris Joya in 1995 interview for the Southern Oral History program why she was so successful, she responded, "Because I won't take no for an answer. That's why." Howard Fuller told the News and Observer in 2016, Ann Atwater is someone who really helped change the history of Durham. The Durham Civil Rights History mural features Ann Atwater and C.P. Ellis in the upper left corner in a scene working together at the school charrette headquarters. Uh, and shout out to Ann Atwater. Thank you so much for your contributions. I am actually happy to tell you all that I know personally know her grandchildren. I went to school with both of her grandchildren, and we all sang in chorus together. Her granddaughter, Nakia, was actually named after her, so her name is Ann Nakia. And hey, boo, shout out to her. And she also Nakia had a younger brother by the name of Brandon, William Brandon, and unfortunately Brandon passed away a few years ago. So continue to rest in peace, Brandon. He was I believe he was about 3 years younger than me because when I was a senior in high school, he was a freshman, and we were all in chorus together. So yeah, and another story, my great grandmother Osi, may she rest in peace as well. She actually told me that when she brought her first house, the plumbing was actually outside. Like, I don't know. She didn't. I asked her, was she talking about outhouse? She said no, not outhouse. She said the toilet was actually outside. So because they didn't want to put the toilets inside of the black homes or something like that. Racism can be stupid. So Ann Atwater actually fought because after I saw the movie came out in 2019. So I asked my great grandmother, I was like, "Do you know of Ann Atwater?" And her face lit up. She's like, "Yeah, I know Ann Atwater." And she was telling me how Ann fought for when they brought their house, fought for them to get their toilets put inside of the houses. Can you imagine?
I I can't, but yeah, yeah, that's just some evil shit, right there. It sort of has to go outside when maybe that wasn't the norm for white people's houses. That's crazy.
Hmm.
Shout out
So,
to
yep, it's people like this woman who made sure that, like, for equal treatment. Come on, put the people toilets inside. Like, what the hell?
yeah, she fought. She walked so we could run. That's for sure. I
Hmm.
just admire people from those years that people that sacrificed and died and marched and everything for our community, and then to see what it's like now that those sacrifices have been largely disregarded and disrespected, and
Hmm.
it's so just it's heartbreaking to see that everything we've fought for, and now we're on just like a downslope of how we treat each other within our own community and just amongst each other, the different groups, ethnic groups, racial groups, whatever. It's just so, yeah, it breaks your heart.
It really is. It's heartbreaking for real.
Yeah,
But we have people like you and I who make sure that we, like you said, she walks so we can run,
yeah,
and we just got to continue to. I know I definitely I like to make some noise in my community, so
yeah,
I've been out in the
yeah.
streets and shit, and will
That's all we
continue to
can
do
do.
so.
All we can do. Some of us are still, out there, even in the young community. Can't paint everyone with the same paintbrush. There are still activists who want to change, the things that's going on. But you're fighting against a juggernaut that is perpetuating this behavior and degradation of our society. They
Hmm.
like this because it keeps us weak. It keeps us not paying attention to what they're doing, taking away our rights while we're out here shooting each other over, stepping on somebody's foot, or feeling some kind of disrespect because somebody looked at you a certain way or walked down your street. Or these are all distractions, and they love that for us. So,
Yes,
you know,
indeed.
you out here thinking you cutting up and you a man while they out here just playing you like a chess piece. You playing checkers, they playing chess, basically.
Wake that up. Wake it up, honey. And you are absolutely right. Just out of curiosity, have you had a chance to see The Best of Enemies with Taraji P. Henson?
No, I I
I
don't
would actually
think I
recommend it.
don't think. Oh yes, yes I did. Yes I did. I
You
saw it.
did? Yeah.
Yes, yes, where she was on the school board and yeah, yeah, I saw it.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, and I mean that still happens in little towns today. They get
Yep.
away with a lot of things that are not so visible in a big city. Little towns, those people have no control. And just like now our government is filled with those same mentality folks of the little town people. Now they're in the big house as they want it to be, and they're keeping us distracted. Just like yeah, yeah. So
Oh, fuckers. Oh, let me not curse so much on this Sunday show.
yeah, right. Sorry, Lord. Yeah, but I get it though. I get it.
Well, I guess we can go ahead and get started with the Sunday tea, honey.
It's tea time on this
Yeah,
Sunday.
yes. So we're going to continue where we left off with the Diddy trial. I'm sharing the same link that I used for Friday, and we're just going to kind of read the wrap up from People here on slide 3. And I believe that the last thing that we went over was the jury reading over the text messages or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think the last thing we said, it says at one point Ventura was asked if she hated Combs, and she says, "I don't hate him. Do you still have love for him?" The defense attorney asked, and she said, I have love for the past and what it was." Ventura replied. So I think that was the last thing that we talked about. Yeah, because I remember that verbiage. So it continues. It says, Cassie says she had to do freak offs. Um, I had to do freak offs, Ventura said during redirect on the witness stand. Ventura said Combs' moods affected my whole life, my career, how I felt about myself, my self worth. If Combs wanted a freak off, Ventura testified, her work had to be put on hold. To prepare for a freak off, Ventura said she got herself ready from head to toe, set up the room, and arranged for escorts. She told the court that Combs introduced her to a world she didn't know or understand at the time. Okay. Okay, so that's how I guess they are bringing in like the racketeering and the criminal enterprise and stuff like that, and they had to have that redirected because I'm sure the defense team opened up a door for them to have to redirect that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Wow. So the text messages sort of, I mean, those are really conflicting statements, I would say,
Mm-mm.
that she made because her text messages made it seem like she wanted to do the freak offs, and now she's
Mm-hmm.
testifying that she didn't want to do the freak offs. So, was she saying that so he wouldn't beat her ass? Because that's the thing, I think she was afraid of him. So, was she saying that to appease him? Yeah, under
I would say
duress.
so.
Yeah, so he wouldn't get mad and, beat her. Hmm, interesting.
Mhm.
But you know how people take that on the internet, and she was a willing participant, and I don't see why he married her. And oh, oh, the baby the think pieces is just
It's crazy. And,
yeah. I can't even read them. I just keep going. I'm like, I do not even want to go down this rabbit hole.
and happy put we have a comment says under duress. Yep, that's exactly what she was. She was that's what I would assume, honey,
Yeah.
based off because again, we've seen what this man is capable of. We know that heard about him blowing up Kid Cudi's car. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he lunged at her with a wine opener and stuff. And when he dressed up as the Joker, honey, that wasn't just cosplay, honey. He was sending us a message.
I agree. I mean, this man was wealthy. He could be anywhere. There was nowhere she could be that he couldn't find her, couldn't bring her back to where he wanted her to be. So the fact that she even typed those kinds of text messages, yeah, she could have been under extreme duress to protect
Mm-hmm.
herself. I get it, but people take things as such face value without any um, critical thinking skills that what psychologically these things mean. They just read it and say, form an opinion. Oh, I wouldn't have done that, and I would have left, and I would have done this. Girl, this man is blowing up people's cars. What were you gonna do? Where are you gonna run that he can't
Oh,
touch you? I mean, come on
mm-hmm.
now. Yeah,
Exactly.
armchair opinions.
Girl, don't even get me started,
Yeah,
honey.
well, you already know.
And so with all that, and just like you mentioned that a lot of people putting think pieces about her husband, talking about, oh, I couldn't be married to a woman like this. Well, her husband actually released a statement, and it's in this article here. And it says, of the latest update, Cassie's husband issued statement, you did not break her spirit. So, after 4 days of grueling testimony and cross examination, Ventura's husband, Alex Fine, issued a statement that was read aloud outside court. Over the past 5 days, the world has gotten to witness the strength and bravery of my wife, freeing herself of her past, the statement read. There has been speculation online surrounding how it must feel for me to sit there and listen to my wife's testimony. I have felt so many things sitting there. I have felt tremendous pride and overwhelming love for Cass, the statement continued. I have felt profound anger that she has been subjected to sitting in front of a person who tried to break her. So, to him and all of those who helped him along the way, please know this: you did not. You did not break her spirit nor her smile that lights up every room. You did not break the souls of a mother who gives the best hugs and plays the silliest games with our little girls. You did not break the woman who has made me a better man. I did not save Cassie, as some have said. To say that is an insult to the years of painful work my wife has done to save herself. Cassie saved Cassie. She alone broke free from abuse, coercion, violence, and threats. She did the work of fighting the demons that only a demon himself could have done to her. All I have done is love her as she has loved me. Her life is now surrounded by love, laughter, and our family. It continued. This horrific chapter is forever put behind us, and we will not be making additional statements. We appreciate all of the love and support we have received, and we ask that you respect our privacy as we welcome our son into a world that is now safer because of his mom. Baby, let me tell you something. If my man talk about me, that's exactly how I want him to do it.
I love this. I love this man. I love this man.
Baby, he
He
ate that.
he ate it, and nothing else needs to be said. Mic drop, honey. I love him, and she
Oh,
loves him
you better
too.
work.
I see why she loves him, and she is happy, and she has a beautiful family. She's still a beautiful girl. She came through some horrific treatment, and this man is behind her 100%. And he didn't let any of that courtroom drama sway him. I love this man for her.
Hello. What I love that he said about it, he said to say that I saved her is an insult to the work that she has done for herself.
Amen.
Cassie saved Cassie. All I did was love her as she loved me. Baby,
Ooh, honey.
that sounded like motherfucking poetry, honey.
It is. That man loves her. And I love that for her. She has a love, baby. Ooh, people would kill to have this kind of love.
Hmm.
I love that for her.
So, believe it or not, that was actually the last update from, because I guess the cross examination went for a long time, because remember we heard stories about people, they were saying how Dawn Richard was supposed to get on the witness stand, and Aubrey O'Day was supposed to have been testifying or something like that. But honey, well, I actually have some disappointing news for all of us. I'm going to share the next story. Give me 1 second. So now this next story, I'm sharing a TMZ link. Honey, Diddy is trying Dawn Richard, baby. So Y'all see this TMZ link I just shared where it says Diddy files to dismiss Don Richard's lawsuit on the same day she testifies. So Diddy wants Don Richard's civil suit against him thrown out, calling the allegations she's made against him totally false on the same day she took the witness stand against him in criminal trial. Oh, I stand corrected. So according to this, it does sound like she took the stand. I guess we don't know what she said as of yet. Okay.
Yeah, I thought
So,
she did to do some testifying. She's supposed to maybe come back Monday, but huh.
yeah. I wonder why people didn't update it. People, get y'all shit together before I use somebody else. So, it says the Rap Moguls legal team filed the documents Friday, pointing out a series of reasons why Dawn's lawsuit shouldn't go any further: statute of limitations, improper group pleads, and on and on. It's mostly lawyer speak, though Diddy's attorney do say early on in the docs that she's essentially trying to ride the wave of negative press around Diddy to a payout. Writing Dawn seeks to transform narratives of alleged injuries against others into a headline grabbing sex trafficking conspiracy as to her. What's more interesting than the actual words in the document is the timing of the dismissal, because it was filed on the very same day Dawn took the stand in Diddy's federal sex trafficking trial, causing a stir when she arrived at the federal courthouse in a smart checkered blazer and nose piercing. As we told you, Dawn told the court she saw Diddy violently attack Cassie, specifically referring to an alleged 2009 incident where she said she watched Diddy attempt to hit Cassie with a skillet. Girl. She alleged that Diddy told her and a bandmate to keep quiet on what she says went down, alleging her locked the door. She locked the door during the conversation. She also said she brought them flowers to try to smooth things over with them. Dawn's also supposed Dawn's also supposed to take the stand again Monday as the trial heads into week two. Though Diddy's ex Cassie has officially finished her testimony in the case and is now focusing on giving birth to her third child with Alex Fine. Richard filed a lawsuit against Diddy back in September. Excuse me, Richard filed a lawsuit against Diddy back in September, claiming he groped, terrorized, and belittled her while working on the show Making the Band. Diddy's lawyer called BS at the time, telling us in an attempt to rewrite history, Don Richard has now manufactured a series of false claims, all in hopes of trying to get a payday. Adding that if things were so bad on Making the Band, then Don wouldn't have agreed to sign another contract with Diddy later on. Child, please. Yes, she would have. Yes, you would, especially when you see what happens when you tell that man no. Shit, like she would, please. But yeah, so I guess she did take the stand, and she talked about. So I guess she will be coming back tomorrow as yeah. So I guess we'll update us on Tuesday about Monday's testimony.
Yeah, yeah. I thought she had testified because they showed her leaving the court. People were, mobbing around her and taking pictures and, with their cameras out and so forth. So I thought she had done some testimony.
Yeah. Well, according to people, honey, who will not be doing any testimony is Aubrey O'Day.
Hmm?
Yes, honey. So I'm sharing this link from people, and y'all see where it says here, Aubrey O'Day will not testify at Sean Diddy Combs' trial because she was never subpoenaed.
Hmm.
So, yes, very, honey, that's what I said. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So, former Danity Kane singer Aubrey O'Day will not take the stand in the high profile federal trial of Diddy, she told TJ Holmes and Amy Robach in the premiere episode of a new podcast about the trial.
Oh,
The
wait,
40,
wait. Those names? Hold up. What were those names again of that podcast?
TJ Holmes and Amy Robach. Girl, I'm glad you said, because I was just reading. It did
Did
not,
you notice that?
I did not, girl. I just processed that. Oh,
Okay, carry on.
oh, well,
Well, that's where they are.
okay.
They on a podcast now. Okay.
And they decided doing about the trial. Oh, look over there. So, the 41-year-old artist rose to fame on MTV's Making the Band under Diddy's guidance, had made a May 14th Instagram post that she believed hinted at a possible court appearance at Diddy's trial. She posted a video from New York City with the caption, "Hey New York, where y'all think I should head first?" She added a weighing scale emoji commonly associated with justice. Despite the post and early reports that she had been subpoenaed, people can confirm O'Day will not testify as she was not subpoenaed by the prosecution or the defense. In the premiere episode of iHeartRadio's Amy Robach and TJ Holmes Presents, Aubrey O'Day covering the Diddy trial, O'Day told Holmes, "No, I'm not here to testify for the Diddy trial that I know of." She went on to claim she was contacted by Homeland Security and did have a meeting with Homeland Security. I posted on my Instagram that I was here in New York and enjoying myself because I wanted to make it clear that I wanted to make it clear to everyone that I am not testifying, O'Day said. People reached out to Homeland Security but has not heard back. So then it talks about like Holmes, who is his trial. So we don't really need even to finish the rest of this article because it's pretty much a repeat what we already know about the trial and Diddy and all of that. So yeah, Aubrey O'Day will not be there.
Wow.
And them swingers, honey, them got them a new podcast. Girl, I cannot believe and you're right. I just skipped over. I'm reading because I didn't recognize as I
When
was
you
reading it.
said those names, Auntie, I'm like, who? Hold up. Back up, back up, back up. Because I've
Baby,
been
thank you.
wondering where they would land, right?
Hmm.
That's what they're doing apart. Wow. How far they've fallen.
Amy and TJ, y'all should host y'all podcast on Chat Mosa.
Come on down.
Okay.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. Well, good luck
And
to them.
yep. And the last piece of Diddy news I have now, Vibe reports that Diddy is actually he's taking it, throwing out everything to see what sticks. And as many would guess, it looks like he is working towards contacting President Trump for a pardon. So I just share here on slide 6. I'm not surprised. I'm really not. I mean, why wouldn't he? So, as Sean Diddy Combs' federal sex trafficking and racketeering trial continues to intensify, sources close to the embattled music mogul say his inner circle is quietly angling for a potential presidential pardon from none other than former U.S. President Donald Trump. Why did they put former in vibe? Oh, shade. Anyway, while Combs has publicly distanced himself from Trump in recent years, insiders say desperation has shifted his tone behind closed doors. He's willing to do anything to get out of jail, a source who has known Combs for a decade tells Rolling Stone. He's always been this way. He's always going to do what he has to do to get out of a situation. The same source notes a striking contradiction in Combs' strategy. He doesn't even like Donald Trump, the source adds, emphasizing just how dire the mogul situation has become. Still, communication between Combs' team and Trump's political network is reportedly ongoing and preliminary, with efforts quietly focused on making connections with the Trump team. One insider even admitted that the words deep state came up once or twice, alluding the kind of language often used in MAGA aligned circles to describe government overreach. While their current relationship may seem opportunistic, Trump's and Combs do share a decades long history. In a 2012 episode of Celebrity Apprentice, Trump referred to Combs as his friend, saying, "I love Diddy. He's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy." Mm. When he pressed contestant Aubrey O'Day, formerly of Danity Kane and a Bad Boy Artist, for her opinion, she replied, "I don't want to answer that question. I'm the full blown fucking story of that." Still, Trump responded, "I'm going to stick up for him." Okay. So,
Hmm.
yeah. Hey,
Well,
Beavis.
he knows Trump, so I do it too. I'm not gonna lie. I try anything possible because these
Yeah.
are federal charges, so he can be pardoned by the president.
Exactly. Why wouldn't he do it? Honestly, he'd be stupid not to. The defense team would be. He wouldn't be getting his money's worth from that defense team. So, well, that's that on Diddy. Does anybody want to add anything before we move on to the next story? All right. So the next story. Now, y'all remember we were talking previously about Suge Knight. He was talking. Excuse me. Snoop Dogg was talking about Suge Knight in the song,
Right.
and that he just came out. Well, Suge Knight has replied.
Of course he has.
Baby. And y'all see, I just shared this link from All Hip Hop. Suge Knight fires back at Snoop Dogg from behind prison walls. So, Snoop Dogg's new album is making noise, but he gave Suge Knight a perfect chance to make headlines. Snoop, who now owns Death Row Records, took direct lyrical shots at the label's infamous co-founder. The verbal jabs had Snoop stating that he owns everything Suge ever had. Burn. This is the takeover Jay-Z rapped about. Bro is currently serving a 28-year sentence for voluntary manslaughter. He's not even eligible for release until he's 69. That is not a good look. Suge had the time, tech, and nerve to fire back. He released a jailhouse statement aimed squarely at Snoop with a few jokes in there. And y'all, this is from his Instagram page, by the way. Suge Knight has an Instagram page, official Suge Knight, and these are from his stories that they took taking screenshots of. So the first one says, "Hey Snooper Duper, I made you a gangster. You used to wear a special ed haircut." And then they said, "What special ed got to do with this?" Right? What? You know what? Now that I think when Snoop first came out, he did have like a haircut like special ed. Anyway, uh, I made you a gangster. You used to wear a special ed haircut. You PC'd up on the streets. You can't go nowhere alone. Your bitch ain't even got respect for you, and put the clown emoji. You ain't fooling nobody. You and I know you is a bitch. Says still waiting on the receipts you brought anything, nigga. You can't even keep a strip club open, let alone a record label. Look at you wearing my logo. Good. It put good boy. So
Mm.
Snoop Dogg is beyond out and about and living his best life. Whether it's courtside at the Lakers game or hanging out at industry parties, he appears to be moving freely. If there's security, it's subtle. Suge is reportedly in protective custody in prison and didn't deny Snoop's claims, given his notoriety. That's the way it is for Suge. Suge Knight jokes at Snoop's freedom, but he's in a cell. Once the feared shot caller, he's now making diss statements from a tablet. This beef is beyond well done. Interestingly, All Hip Hop once conducted an interview with Suge Knight. It spiraled quickly. Knightley demanded the video be taken down because he was actively working to get out of prison. But now he's clearly not getting out anytime soon. I'm letting the footage breathe. Here y'all go. And then they put the link. You can tell who wrote this article because they said fuck Suge. So someone by the name of Houston Williams. Oh, well, Houston clearly does not like Suge Knight.
I say leave that man alone. That's what I say.
They can wake it up. And I say it as well. Well, that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything about Suge crazy ass before we on? Matter of fact, we're gonna take chill advice. We're gonna leave him alone.
I don't want nothing recorded about me talking about Suge Knight.
Wake that up, honey. Well, our next story. So now this is actually more about Chris Brown in London, child. So now a London rapper has actually been has is a part of the mess as well. And I'm sharing the link from TMZ. Y'all, and I don't know who this rapper is, but apparently he's a London rapper, a UK rapper. And it says Chris Brown, second rapper charged in alleged London assault case. So it's possible Chris Brown did not act alone in the alleged 2023 bottle smashing incident at a London nightclub, because the second man has been charged in connection to the alleged assault. Rapper Hoodie Baby, real name, and I'm going. Please forgive me if I mispronounce this, but Amalolu Akinlalu is charged with grievous bodily harm with intent and is due to appear at Manchester's Magistrate Court on Saturday, London's Metropolitan Police confirmed in a statement. As we reported, Chris Brown appeared at the same court Friday after being charged with one count of grievous bodily harm. So, yeah, now Hoodie Baby is being charged with the same thing, it looks like. So it
Mm.
looks like both Chris and Hoodie Baby stumped out that man, Abe Diao. Done stumped that man out in the club, hit him over the head with a bottle, and left him for dead, honey. That shit is crazy. Hey, my Jamaican queen.
Don't be hating my Jamaican queen to me. Good morning, Jermaine.
Good morning.
How you doing? Hello, Chris. Hello, Happy. Auntie.
Hello, hello. And did you have anything to add about Hoodie Baby?
Yes, he's a good rapper.
Oh,
Is he
you know who
really?
that is? Okay.
He a good rapper. He cute.
I
You
never
know.
heard of him.
Yeah, he's more Nigerian. You know,
Oh, okay.
England, them that side, and Caribbean. He put a little Caribbean spin to it. So, but Chris Brown got arrested.
Sure did.
Girl, yes.
He's still in jail. Didn't get his bail
Oh,
out.
he had an open warrant. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That
Stupid.
that poor boy just ain't never gone. Mm.
He had to
Stupid. Stupid and abusive.
I know.
fly into the UK and had a warrant and just flew
Yeah,
over.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, they
Just
arrested him at the hotel.
I hope he in therapy because
Oh no.
I feel like he trying to keep his nose clean, but his past is catching up with him.
Who trying to keep his nose clean? Not no Chris Brown with all that cocaine residue around his nose. Who trying to keep their nose clean?
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
Allegedly. Allegedly.
allegedly. I feel like he trying to do better though, cause he was worse. I feel
I
like
guess.
I feel like he trying to, cause he was worse. 'Cause remember one time he was always in the news for something.
He was.
And still
Yeah,
is.
He trying to stay out
what?
of prison.
Yeah, he gonna mess it up. Ooh, I'm telling you, all these rappers and all of them. I don't know if they realize that they need to just behave themselves. That's all I'm saying.
Well, speaking of people who need to behave themselves, another Brown, honey, Antonio Brown. I don't know what it is about these men with the last name Brown, but his ass was shooting outside of a damn club and shit. I just shared this link here. Y'all see from Hot New Hip Hop, Antonio Brown escorted by police after allegedly firing gunshots outside of Aiden Rox's boxing event.
Mm.
So, and stupid girl, Antonio Brown was thrust into the center of some chaos early Saturday morning. The ex NFL wide receiver was in attendance for one of Aiden Ross's boxing events. However, as people were filling out alongside him, a wild altercation ensued. Thanks to footage caught by Feared Buck on Twitter, Brown looks to get jumped by a horde of men. He eventually gets away, kicking one of them in the process. After disappearing out the frame, things kind of settle down for a minute, but no more than that. Gunshots can be heard from unknown gunmen. Panic then ensues as the cameraman filming all of this retreats with a group of people into a warehouse-looking building. The emotions can certainly be felt as the ones we see in the footage are noticeably worried and shaken up. Then we start to gain some context in the last 20 seconds or so of the clip. Antonio Brown is being escorted by a police officer. However, it appears that he was only detained by police, not arrested, as Feared Buck and others believed. Antonio Brown further clarified the situation with a statement on Twitter. Regarding the boxing event that happened last night, I was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me. Contrary to some videos circulating, police temporarily detained me until they received my side of the story and then released me. I went home that night and I was not arrested. I will be talking to my legal counsel and attorneys on pressing charges on the individuals that jumped me. He said while adding, I will keep you all posted step by step on the process. Thank you for the support and love. Hashtag AB, hashtag 84. And then he tagged World Star for some reason. And it says, all of that checks out as the former Pittsburgh Steelers star joined Aiden Ross's stream just minutes after the brawl. Charleston White can also be viewed in the clip above, and everyone at his house was happy to see him. All right, they can't take down AB. Ross said to the camera. It's worth noting though that Brown never confirmed nor denied being the one used said firearm. Brown doesn't appear to have any injuries in the video. Moreover, it hasn't been reported if others who happened to be in the middle of the mess were hurt. He shot that shit and then he threw that gun out, honey. And I guess the police, and because he's Antonio Brown, no gun, no case. He threw that shit in the ocean. Is there a nearby ocean at this time? What was this boxing event at? He threw
I
that shit
don't know.
into some woods.
But escorted by the police after firing shots. not arrested, escorted. That's
Mm-hmm.
um, funny use of words. Hmm. But he was being attacked. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that maybe that justified him using, you know, the gun as self-defense. So maybe that's why.
Yeah. So, well, that's that on that. Y'all, anything else? Like, hey, Hammy, y'all want to add anything to this about or any other brown men before we go to the next story?
Hey,
Well, why
Hammy.
are they wearing these jewelries out like that, knowing there's a chance for them to be robbed or something? Like, I don't
Yeah,
understand. Don't they have security?
Not if you're an
I don't
ex-player.
know.
He's an ex-player. He's not a current player. Maybe he couldn't
Oh,
afford.
he's. Oh, okay, okay. I thought he was. I don't know who that be. I don't know. I don't know. That's okay. My mistake.
Well, there
All
was
right.
security at the event though that was trying to help during the fight. They showed the fight, and there was security,
Oh,
but I don't think it was his security. It was the event security trying to get the people off of him and get him to his car. So, but it wasn't his personal security.
it's rough out in these streets. Mm.
Yeah, especially when you wearing that kind of jewelry around your neck. Hey,
Mm-hmm. Well, child. So now for our last few stories that we have, because I think I have, let's see, one, two, three, four stories. So they're all going to be talking about love and messy relationships. And one is a good story about, an engagement. But now this first one, child. So, Portia from the Housewives of Atlanta. And you remember Simon Gavardi? You remember how he was arrested and detained by ICE?
mm-hmm.
So now he can't even go to his hearing, honey, that divorce hearing. So I
Oh,
just shared this link from the Shade Room. Yep. And y'all see where it says Simon Gavardi remains in ICE custody, but divorce hearing with Portia will move ahead. So Simon Gabardia is still behind bars in an ICE detention center. His divorce from Portia Williams has not been finalized, so federal agents will reportedly take him to his upcoming divorce hearing. The update comes after he missed his last court date. Portia is fighting to enforce the prenup they signed before tying the knot. But Simon is still locked up. Finalizing the process has been delayed. Portia made it clear she's not playing when it comes to the prenup she and Simon signed before marriage. According to In Touch, the Real Housewives of Atlanta star and her attorney attended a court hearing concerning the agreement at Fulton County Courthouse on Wednesday, April 30th. But Simon was nowhere to be seen because U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is currently detaining him. Simon's legal team did notify the judge ahead of time that their client would not be able to attend due to his current circumstances, but the hearing still went ahead on Thursday, May 1st. Portia and her attorney were present, though the matter couldn't go anywhere since her estranged husband was absent. Consequently, the judge presiding over the case has reportedly scheduled a new hearing for June 11th to enforce the agreement the pair signed. And since Simon is required to attend, ICE federal agents are expected to transfer him for custody to the courthouse. The judge has reportedly issued a production order, which allows Simon to attend his new court date by temporarily leaving ICE's detention center. They've released what did the judge say? Do I want to read the statement? Counsels for Simon indicate that ICE agency has advised upon receiving production order, arrangements will be made to transport Simon to physically appear in court at the Fulton County Courthouse. So no, I did not need to read that statement. Anyway, additionally, if Simon gets out of ICE custody before the hearing and can't make it in person, he must give the court a heads up. That way, they can plan to have the hearing take place remotely instead. Says Simon should provide this court with as much advance notice possible to allow this court to make arrangements for the hearing to occur via remote proceedings, and the parties and counsel may attend the hearing remotely. The judge added, "Well, do that shit anyway. What the fuck?" Anyway, what's that's that on that child. Oh, and then I guess it ends with says, "Here's why Simon is contesting the prenup." It says the Nigerian businessman initially opposed to the prenuptial agreement with Portia, citing misrepresentations and non-disclosures. He claimed Portia concealed her plan to return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, leading him to believe she would be a stay-at-home mom. Additionally, he alleged spending over $2 million on their extravagant wedding and accused Portia of filing for divorce to trigger the prenup's provisions. Mm-mm. And I do think I've been saying somebody people are speculating that that Portia called ice on Simon, honey, it's starting to look like she did, allegedly.
Not beyond
Go
belief,
ahead.
right?
Right. Go ahead, Jamaican Queen.
Auntie, I was just gonna say the same thing, yo. Cause like this, let me tell you, 2 plus 2 ain't 4. It ain't adding up because it's just don't make no sense how Ice got this man. It's look here, this man underestimate this woman. He surely did. That big old wedding, and now he in a divorce. And look here now, she ain't stupid. She
And
is
I
not
think he
stupid. And
wasn't even
why
looking for his type. Like, why is Ice got? Why does Ice even have him? Yeah, she. I think she used this man.
use him? But you know what goes around come around. Cause you dig when you do dirt, when you do shit like that, you better dig 2 holes. You
Yeah, cause
can't
her
just dig
grandma.
one hole because that karma is a. Mm,
She already living it on Real Housewives of Atlanta. People don't like her. They're
mm,
talking
mm.
about her, and she's not looking real good on that show right now. So yeah.
Look, look, you gonna dig 2 holes. We do this
Hmm.
man too. So why he in ICE custody, Auntie?
That's what I
Because
said.
Portia called. Let me I
That
don't
too,
know.
that too. But like, was his paper out?
Correct me if I'm
Phew.
wrong, but I think his work visa expired or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, but I think it did have something to do with him overstaying his visa.
Yeah, he had one at one point.
Saying he married to her, and she ain't filed for custody to get his shit in the
She didn't
country.
want him. She didn't want to, because she wanted to do this right here. Because he was married, remember, to that
Uh,
other lady.
see, that's why. That is why. When these men pick up these white girls and they talk about why you ain't get a boogie, because you know what I'm saying? That's the reason right here. That's the reason right here.
I don't know about that.
Can
Because them
I
white
say
girls be taking them to the cleaners, honey.
yes? But okay, but she should have stayed with his first wife because this, see all that makeup she got on, Jermaine, she got that look with that left eye. It's that lashes that be hiding that the eye. But get that makeup and that lash on. I'm telling you, Lord help me, Jesus.
Well, speaking of people with asymmetry, um, Joe Exotic. I know y'all done saw this.
Yeah.
And this is another story about somebody's lover being detained by ICE child and being deported
Oh, from prison, no less.
fr- from prison, child. And y'all see here, I just shared with from TMZ. Joe Exotic's husband deported to Mexico after prison release. So Joe's Exotic husband was released from prison and immediately deported to Mexico. TMZ has learned. A rep for Joe tells us his 33-year-old husband, Jorge Marquez Flores, was deported to Mexico on Friday after being released from a Texas prison. Jorge's deportation comes one day after the Tiger King star posted on his social media that Jorge was taken to an ICE detention center for his hearing to either stay in America or go back to Mexico. Ultimately, he was sent back to Mexico hours later, we're told. Joe and Jorge got engaged in October 2024. They went on to get married behind bars in April. I remember us talking about that. Never been more proud of someone. Meet my husband, Jorge Flores Maldonado. Joe wrote on social media. Jorge was serving time for immigration related issues, while Joe is behind bars for 21 years for his involvement in a murder for hire plot targeting Carol Baskin. In the past, Joe has expressed concern over Flores' legal status in the United States, revealing that they were pursuing asylum for him, though he said they both be heading out of America once they were out of prison. Oh, I thought you loved America, and I thought you loved Trump. Sparkle. Anyway,
Are we going to talk about his present?
yeah, I don't. So that's I don't. Because there, I did see that on Twitter. They said that he left something to remember him behind, and it initially looked like kisses, but then it ended up looking like booty hole, like Prince. Like he just took his like out. But TMZ didn't mention that, so they I don't know. That leads me to believe that maybe that was fake or altered. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it might have been a fake post, but it was funny.
It was indeed because I feel like if that was real, TMZ would have had it in him because
Yeah,
TMZ loves mess.
yeah, that was funny.
That's up. Well, I know what to get my man for Christmas. Let me
Uh-uh.
stop.
Ooh, child.
Well, so the last two stories I have now. This first one are you all? I think we've mentioned this before. You all don't watch the show The Upshaws on Netflix, do you?
No, I've heard of it,
Oh,
but never watched it.
I'm actually I'm a huge fan of it, and one of the actors from the show, he famously came out of his glass closet last year, but he just got engaged over the weekend. And I'm sharing this story because I love that it is two black queer people being engaged, baby. When I tell you my heart is fluttering, honey, I'm ecstatic right now, and I love to see it. But y'all see where I just shared this people link. Um, the Upshaw star Jamel Simon details surprise engagement to creator OBO Jones. He said no one said a thing, and this is a people exclusive. Um, so OBO Jones and Jamel Simon are taking their relationship to the next level. The content creator, who's 32, popped the question to the Upshaw star, who's 36, on April 25th in an intimate, family filled proposal. Now, the newly engaged couple is opening up to people about the details of the engagement and the plans for their future. Jones and Simon's love story begins, like so many often do, through a digital connection. After watching an episode of the Netflix comedy, which wrapped its final season earlier this year, Jones sent an innocuous congratulatory message to Simon. He DM'd to compliment me on my performance on the show. Real smooth, but like friendly for sure. Simon shares. That friendliness turned into friendship, and their friendship turned into something more following a date at a popular downtown Los Angeles restaurant, Joyce. He's always been fine, but what drew me in was how intentionally nice is, admits Jones, who is slightly anxious to take things in a romantic direction, as was Simon. Are we sure we want to risk our friendship for romance? Jones recalled thinking. Ultimately, they decided to take the leap. While the couple opted not to share how long they've been officially dating, got to keep something offline, they said. They've shared more of their life together after Simon came out as gay last October on National Coming Out Day. Loving OBO didn't feel like I was betraying myself, said Simon. I think he does a beautiful job of being mindful and aware of others. If there is a way he can help, he will. It says over the past few months, Jones and Simon, who has three children from a previous relationship, have been having conversations about marriage, but there weren't any hard deadlines on the timing of it all. However, Jones knew Simon would want something intimate. After the two moved in together last month, Jones decided to put a plan in motion. Um, let's see what else. It continues. On the day we got the keys, everyone was looking at their rooms and roaming in the home. Jones begins. Jermel and I were in our primary room, and I had the kids come in one by one and hand him congratulations notes with "I love yous" and sweet descriptions of who he's been to them and what the family meant. He thought it was just in regards to the house, but I got on one knee and boom. Jones proposed to Simon with a diamond encrusted Cartier ring in their new home surrounded by their loving family. While marriage was already on the horizon, Simon says he did not see the actual proposal coming. It was a complete surprise, actually. I say that I say that because normally I would have some sort of idea about a thing. OBO involved the children and everyone that was important to me, and no one said a thing, gushed Simon. I think it made that much more special to me because not only was I ready, but I was genuinely surprised, which almost never happens. Jones and Simon are well known among their respective Black LGBTQ plus audiences. For many, they are a north star of desire and partnership. While the couple is aware of their digital stature, Jones says that they don't necessarily post for the love of the engagement. In fact, it's merely an extension of what he's already done as a content creator. Let me see. Do I want to read the rest of this? Not really. So, but congratulations to them. Really,
Congrats.
I think that's awesome. It said, "I am shocked because I thought OBO was a black okay gay." Ah, Go ahead, Jamaica Queen.
Orbia. Is that his name? Orbia?
Uh huh. OBO Jones. So OBIO.
So Obia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't want to date nobody with Obia.
You
Obia.
you wouldn't want to date nobody. I don't know if I want to date a man somebody with 3 kids, honey. But you know what? That's not my relationship. And congratulations to them.
Obia. That's some bad jumbo.
Oh, he got 3 children. Wow.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. And it was so funny because I think Jamel Simon thought that because he had those kids that people didn't know that he was in because he plays a gay character in the show. I
Hmm.
mean, he just kind of he looks it like it to somebody like me who's been in life for a long time. It's kind of obvious to me. So when he came out, a lot of the sentiment was like, "Oh, you coming out? I mean, congratulations, I guess." But we already knew. So he shared a video pretty much saying, "Y'all ain't no shit." But I thought that was funny.
I'm still stuck on the Obia.
Ooh,
'Cause the Obia, that's not good in my country.
Sound like some
uh-oh.
voodoo, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's voodoo. The Obia business. And I don't care how you pronounce it. Hyphenated, put a French twang on it. It's still Obia.
Got a
Obio.
I'm
problem?
curious. Let me go Google. Let me see if I can
Go see the
It's
find
still,
OBO
some.
woman.
huh?
So you got a problem? Go see the OBO woman. She
I'm
hook you
telling.
up.
Mm-mm. You gotta go to bed with him with a lot of cross.
Oh, okay. So I see. So Marcia, what you saying? It says Obia, which is spelled Obeah, or it can be spelled as
Oh yeah, the OBO
OBIA.
woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is OBIO. So I don't think that's the same thing.
Just sounds similar.
It sounds similar. And for a Caribbean person, I bet you go to Caribbean, say OBO, and they gonna look at you. What? You Obia? No.
I'm gonna
Mm-mm.
go to the Caribbean so they can call me a fish honey. And what they think is an insult, I think it's a compliment because I love when people tell me I look fishy, honey. I look fishy. Oh, fish. Oh, thank you. Oh my God.
Ah! Fish.
Oh, thank you, girl. Oh my God.
Oh my God, I can't.
Well, y'all, this last story, I tell you, so this shit broke last night, baby, like late last night, honey. So, and I think is this name pronounced David Jeffin or David Geffen? I think it's pronounced David Jeffin.
I think it's Geffen. I
You think
think.
it's Geffen?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, well, we just gonna call him Daddy Warbucks. So, and remember how he was married to a man who was like 50 years younger than him?
No.
Well, baby, they don't file for divorce, and get this, they didn't have a prenup.
Was it the, who was married to Liza Minnelli?
Uh,
Was it him? I think his last name was Geffen too.
Liza Minnelli
Yeah.
husbands. No, it says David Jess, Mark Gero, Jack
Oh,
Haley, and Peter Allen.
yes. Okay. Okay. Never mind. Okay. So yeah, they
So
broke up. Hmm.
yes, honey. So and I shared this link from the New York Post, and y'all see where it says here, billionaire Daddy Warbucks, who's 82, files for divorce from go-go dancer husband, who's 32, without a prenup. For the record, this marriage has come to an end. Entertainment billionaire David Geffen or David Geffen has filed for divorce from his husband, David Armstrong, after less than 2 years of marriage. The 82-year-old mogul tied the knot with the go-go dancer, who goes by Donovan Michael when he performs in 2023, and the two did not sign a prenup. With the help of a well-known divorce attorney, Laura Wasser, Geffen cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for their split, according to TMZ. Despite not signing a prenup, Forbes puts the retired businessman's net worth to be 8.7 billion. Geffen co-founded Asylum Records in 1971, founded Geffen Records in 1980, and DGC Records in 1990, and co-founded DreamWorks Records in 1996. However, the record executive has retired for 15 years, and his income now consists of stocks and equities, which are separate property. Per California law, dividends from stocks remain separate, which could possibly leave Armstrong without a large cash settlement. The performer will receive spousal support for a year. Oops, sorry, got to pop up. He will receive spousal support for a year. However, since under California law, spouses receive payment for half of the length of their marriage. Geffen will also pay Armstrong spousal support and attorney fees, TMZ reported, citing divorce documents. The pair reportedly first met in 2020 when Armstrong served as a personal trainer for Geffen before marrying in a private ceremony in Beverly Hills. In 2023, details surrounding Armstrong's past came to light. His former friends told the Post at the time that the dancer's income stems from picking up odd jobs in New York and Miami. The go-go dancer was born David Armstrong in Michigan until he began going by Brandon Foster after relocating to Florida in 2014. The trainer started dancing and promoting parties at gay clubs around Miami, including clothing optional pool parties, along with plenty of other hot, sexy guys. Armstrong was no stranger to flaunting his toned physique in Instagram photos, with one shot from September 2014 noting he was doing a little camming tonight. The caption added that he would put on a good show for everyone who would pay for his footage. 2 years later, around 2016, Armstrong left Florida for New York City, where he took his new name. A former girlfriend revealed she only knew Armstrong to date women. But due to the fact he liked adventure and would dive headfirst into situations, his former flame wasn't shocked by this marriage. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's very attractive, she shared. He would tell me people just assumed that he was into guys from what he posted on Instagram. I know that he was getting comments like that from gay men, that he was really attractive and he was in really good shape. At the time, pictures of Geffen and Armstrong spotted at a New York City heliport surfaced. The photos showed Geffen flashing a gold band on his ring finger. Another one of Armstrong's friends told the Post the former fitness guru was already looking for his next adventure and was really determined to improve his life. Sources noted that Armstrong also came from very humble beginnings in Imlay City, Michigan, a town of just 4,000 people, and was one of 13 children. Damn. A former pal revealed he was super secretive and rarely divulged in his past. I wonder why. It says it took a while to really get to know him because he was really private about his past, said the former friend. They explained Armstrong was always searching for something to help him understand his past and what he experienced. I think he rebelled a lot when he was younger, and that was a big part of why he left, the friend confessed. So yeah, it sounds like even though he done married to this man with a net worth of $8.7 billion, according to California law, he will only be getting spousal support for 1 year. He won't be getting any of his stock or equities because so long story short, if you meet a man, a rich man, and want to marry him, don't marry his ass in California. And don't live and don't reside in California either.
Finger quotes, odd jobs. That I'm like,
Hmm.
okay.
Wait, wait. So he was still dancing and stuff while he was with the guy?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Hmm.
who filed the divorce? The old man or the young guy?
The old man.
Oh, so he got busted.
You think he got busted with
Citing.
a woman?
He probably got busted doing something because the old man filed for the divorce.
I don't.
I think he
I
got
don't think.
caught.
I that may be the reason, but I don't think that that would be like a deal breaker for a man. Like he's 82 and he knows like I don't you kind of know you married this man that's 50 years younger than you. You know he's gonna have a healthy and then if he was straight or straight appearing before
Mhm.
y'all met, then I don't think him finally would like be like, oh, I'm going to divorce you because I can't. I don't know.
I think he was cheating.
No,
He
I think he
probably
maybe found out
was
some shit that
cheating
he can't
and
trust his
stuff.
ass.
They probably can't trust him because he was cheating. And I'm like, come on now. Come on, bro. Look,
Or
I
maybe
mean,
he's trying to
50
pull some
years.
kind of game on his money. You never know.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. It's I think it has. He probably found some shit that show. Oh, you a scammer.
Mm,
Nah, bro, we not about to be together. Fuck that. Divorce. And you know what? I pay your spouse. We only been married for 2 years. I pay you some spousal support for a year. Then about that, you go on about your business and have a nice life. And
yeah,
go
he'll be
scam the
fine.
next bitch.
Now,
Yeah,
now, look here. Do you think the young boy, gonna have a problem finding another person? Please.
Hell no! Look at him. He fine as
Hell no.
hell.
Look at him. It's your loss. So he must have did something to make him go. Cause what I know with these rich white people, trust is very important to them. Them old rich
Hmm.
white people, trust is important to them. They
They got
gotta
a nerve.
trust you. 50 years older, bro.
They got a
Mm.
nerve to have trust issues with anybody because how they got. If we start asking questions about how they got their money,
he's
Yeah.
in shape
No,
now.
no, no. When they let you in their house and their life and all that stuff, because for them, you know what I'm saying? Why are you gonna marry somebody that 50 years old and you don't expect them to be? Come
Look
on,
at him.
bro.
He's in shape though. Look at him. He's not like walking on a walker 82-year-old.
Is he? Is he?
He looks fit.
Is he,
yeah, he
German?
does. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's a good looking 82 years old.
And he's
With
got it.
still trying to save his hair. Is he?
I'm
He
just
needs.
saying
Girl, they ain't got no. Look at that face. That is a good looking 82 year old. But compared to his
it
peers, especially
is.
white peers,
Yeah,
that
he looks
man looks
fit.
good.
Let me look.
Hmm. He looks fit. He's been training. He got had personal trainers. This was just another in a long line. He's not, walking around barely moving and going on. He living life.
I can't see him. Oh, okay. Got his eyebrow kept, but he needs to bald his whole head. Saving this little bit right here. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see his
Yeah.
peck. I see his little peck.
Yeah.
But still, though, still,
Oh my god.
That is a big gap.
that's
But
a big
Hmm.
gap, okay? Because
Okay,
you
well, when
know,
y'all see me with my 90-year-old husband, I just want y'all to mind your business.
oh, I expect you to be with a 90-year-old husband. So that I'm not, I'm just going to tell you, things that you need to look, because his scrotum dropping in the toilet. Is it?
Oh my god.
Don't nobody want to see that. That is not sexy. No, no.
at
Mm-mm.
90-year-old, he gonna be on a walker. You don't want nobody fit, Auntie.
Mm-mm.
You want somebody with a foot in the grave.
You know, you're right. You're right.
One
Well, that
foot
was
in the grave. Lord. No,
But
sir.
that was all the tea that I had for us today. So did anybody have any tea that they wanted to share? Anything about sagging scrotums or anything else we should know before we head out?
No.
Hey, gorgeous moon. Well, y'all, thank you so much for coming by this surprise. I'm sitting here announcing surprise Sunday shows, kind of like I'm Beyonce or some shit. But thank y'all for taking time out of y'all busy Sunday to come and sip tea with me. We will be back on Tuesday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. In
Cause
the
money.
meantime, you all have a fabulous weekend.
Yay!
Tuesday,
Bye.
not
Bye,
Monday.
guys. Have a great
Bye.
weekend.